What happens when a war breaks out in the Middle East and India pays for it at the petrol pump? That's not hypothetical, that's India's reality. We import nearly 89% of our crude oil, and today I'm going to show you why that makes us dangerously vulnerable. India faces a dual crisis. First, structural oil dependency. We import $137 billion worth of crude every year. Second, an energy transition that's happening without a plan. The government is caught in a trap. Tax fuel heavily to fund the budget or keep prices low. As two recent editorials I've read, both the fuel crisis and the exit from fossil fuels are being mismanaged simultaneously. Now, let us look at this chart. Petrol in Delhi went from rupees 70 a litre in 2018 to 105 by 2022. Diesel prices rose 46% in the same period. And here's the shocking part, over 50% of what you pay at the petrol pump is just taxes. So one, revenue addiction between 2014 and 2021. Exercise on petrol rose over 200% and on diesel over 600%, using the window of low global crude prices to build a physical dependency. 2. Price signal distortion. Dynamic pricing gets paused before elections, forcing oil marketing companies to absorb losses and weakening them financially. And third, a transition without planning. EVs are being pushed, but charging infrastructure, affordability, and worker protection plans simply don't exist. This pie chart here tells a stark story. Coal accounts for 44% of India's primary energy, and imported oil adds another 26%. Together, fossil fuels dominate our energy mix. India surpassed China in 2024 as the world's largest driver of new oil demand. Yet, we have no credible plan to reduce this dependency. Every $10 rise in global crude adds roughly 1 lakh crore to our import bill and simultaneously weakens the rupee. It's a double hit. Now, India needs a managed, just transition, not an abrupt one. Right now, we're stuck in middle, high fossil fuel dependency on the left, ambitious EV and renewable targets on the right, and a dangerous policy gap in between. EVs are affordable only for the top 15% of the policy. The electricity grid is still coal heavy. The fossil fuel tax revenues fund our welfare schemes. You can't just switch this off. So what must India do? 3 pillars. First, fix the price mechanism. Bring petrol and diesel under GST, apply dynamic pricing consistently, and stop election-driven price freezes. Second, invest in transition in infrastructure. 10,000 EV charging stations on highways by 2027, ethanol blending at 20%, MSME support for electric mobility. Third, diversify energy sources. Build more strategic petroleum reserves, accelerate solar and wind capacity, and leverage the 50 new oil block auctions launched in 2026. Implementation must be phased. In short term, 0 to 2 years, resume honest dynamic pricing and raise emergency reserves. In medium term, 2 to 5 years, bring fuel under GST, hit the 20% ethanol blending target, and publish a just transition package for fossil fuel workers. Long term, 5 to 10 years, cut oil import dependency below 60% and achieve 30% EV penetration. And scale green hydrogen from pilot to industry. Now, why hasn't this happened already? The barriers are real and severe. Fuel taxes are 15 to 20% of central tax revenue. Any cut hurts health and education budgets. Elections happen every 18 months in India. Price hikes are political poison. 76% of Indians earn less than 15,000 a month. EVs are simply out of reach. And millions are employed in refining, transport, and fuel retail. Structural reform always has powerful opponents. This isn't new. Since 1991, balance of payment crisis was triggered partly by a ballooning oil import bill. The Kirti Parikh Committee recommended market-limited pricing in 1998, ignored for 15 years. In 2002, the Ukraine war exposed our over-reliance on Middle East crude. And today, the Iran-US conflict has disrupted Strait of Hormuz routes that carry 40% of India's crude. The lesson is clear. An orderly exit from fossil fuel is not an environmental choice. It is an economic imperative. India has no more time to delay.